Hi, welcome to the very last session of Hutt Cartel Season 2. There may be a Season 3, everyone may die, who knows what's going to happen, right? I could run Hutt Cartel, I think, forever from the looks of things, with an increasingly small pool of characters to choose from. But there's always new blood in the game, of course. I'm not going to go over lines and veils and everything, we've done all of that, gauntlets, etc. But let's go straight in. We have our returning characters, of course, but I think that our major thing is that we have a brand new PC who is an old familiar, face in terms of character. It's everyone's favorite Anzelin, Tuk Tuk, Crixera's former Corsac partner, who probably one of my favorite moments was when Crix tried to choke the little guy, and then he deployed his secret stun things and ran off with all the money that Crix was supposed to hand over to the cartel, which led to this huge implosion. No, the Black Sun, sorry, at the time, yeah. But why don't we go to Stephen, who has gone through 2 characters in this run of Hutt Cartel, and now he's on his 3rd for a very last session. So would you like to introduce Tuk Tuk, and then we will go on with ties.
Sure. So Tuk Tuk is a taking the rat playbook. So he is working for Corsac to rat out the cartel. He is a gambler and an entrepreneur and a big customer. And he used to be a customs agent and stole a huge bribe. And I think that he's having trouble right now with money because he might have spent all of that and gambled it all away. But he's used to the big fancy lifestyle. So I've got several ties worked up for the different characters. I'll start with Atima, who I think in chat Rich said he likes the tie that I have, which is Atima works with me regularly on cartel business. Is it cartel or rebel business?
Good question. Let's go with cartel. I still want to do
business.
cartel stuff with you, yeah.
And doesn't trust me. I don't trust them, but I'm confident that they don't know my secrets yet.
So one thing I would pitch perhaps as the work that you go regularly with is that, Etima's fairly in at 8 lives, right? And 8 lives is a big like social place. It's probably where Tuk Tuk does a lot of his gambling and things like that, right? So perhaps Etima's like involved in terms of like the loans, the debts, the back rooms, the back games where, like completely illegal stakes are on the table, like, trading in, like, I'll bet you my life debt, or, kind of, we'll play rat-a-tacky roulette for this hand of Savak, that kind of stuff. Does that work for the 2 of you?
It's good with me. Yeah.
Sure.
And then does any of the ties go to Skara? Anders?
So I have a couple of options for Skara. Anders, have you looked at them?
I
can read them out.
Just briefly.
One of them is I owe Skara for getting me out of a tight spot. I won't die for them, but we both know we need to settle up soon. Or Skara and I have a plan to make some real money. They worry it's not going to work, but I know it's a sure thing.
I mean, as we talk it through, it just occurs to me that my brain hasn't made the connection that we already have a tie built in for Skara, which is Skara is, everyone thinks Skara killed my partner.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's true.
And obviously, the Soral Muvar one seems to speak for itself as far as I can tell.
Tuk Tuk suspects that Soral might not be the fine, upstanding partner to Crix that she presents herself as.
Oh, I mean, he knows for a fact that you're as dirty as Crix was, at least. But he doesn't know whether or not you were to blame for it.
Wow, okay. All right. If you want to go around flinging around accusations like that.
Strangely, people have heard of this. Well, we'll get into that. Oh, yeah. And I think it would be good to have a what was one of the. I don't think it makes that much sense for you to be with Chen Vizik because he was working for Blackstone at the top, then out on his own. But maybe, yeah, I think there's a really. I think that's enough ties, don't you? Really for this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great, but I think I'd like to go with what a quick scene or a recap of Tuk Tuk at the end of that wake. Not at the end of the wake, right? But like in the wake of what's come afterwards, right? Where does Tuk Tuk like live now? Because he was living in a sort of like beaten down like old freighter that was just like mothballed. But obviously he's made it big since then.
So I think he's living kind of in one of those taller buildings in 1313 that almost reaches the top of the level.
Mm,
And he started out like in the penthouse. He was like, I'm the guy. But he's had to lower his rent. So he's moved more and more down, but he's keeping in that building so that he can still, people don't realize he's really changed his address.
And we come into the room, and you can hear like a muffled conversation coming through as the camera goes like through the hallways of this thing, and then it comes round into your sort of like living area. And maybe Tuk Tuk is like on a really high chair, like smoking something, with a glass in another one. And you can see Rex, the protocol droid, the Prefect Rex of CSF, standing. And Rex says that it's been a bad time for the task force. We've lost quite a number of staff. I need you to come back, Tuk Tuk. I know that you and we had our disagreements over Hera, but I think you'll want to see this. And it reaches down and pulls out of a black bag the head of another protocol droid, Boxy, and puts it down and says, we found this droid at what was it? It wasn't Ray's repair shop, was it? It was Bruce's repair shop. At Bruce's speeder repair, the old safe house. There was a massacre. We think it may be Skara or someone from the cartel. We have an officer in critical condition. Another droid, Denny, who says that whoever it was had CSF uniform and that this droid came in. We believe this droid belongs to the Ratataki Yatsuma, the one who is a known associate of the owner of 8 Lives. But the important part is this. And he reaches down and, like presses a data pad that's been like wired up to the back of this protocol droid's head. And then like the eyes like light up and they project out like a little hologram, right? And it shows Skara talking to Tren, and it says, no, I didn't kill Crix Hera. No, I mean, I had to shoot the Trandoshan, but it wasn't me. That was the only person I killed in there. I got out of there before Hera or whoever her and his partner came in. And then the view sort of like flickers and flickers, and then he presses a few buttons in datapad, and it like does that zoom and enhance thing, and you can just see in the background of like a shady table where you can see the other people sat around talking, and just a blue chist hand across the table.
And Tuk Tuk just spits, on the ground and is like, I'll find him. Well, are you, what exactly are you offering? I need a expense account.
You have an expense account. I understand that you have debts, officer, but you also have secrets. Everybody here on this level has secrets. All of you organics get tainted by the work here. That's fine. My job is to try and get us back on track. The deaths of the safe house, the deaths of Hera, Skara is just a weapon. Whoever leaked the safe house is a traitor. So he's
So you
telling
want-
you that his priority is not to find Skara. Like he would, in an ideal world, he would lock everybody up, right?
Right.
But ultimately, in his view, Skara is a weapon that follows orders, right? Skara doesn't choose to kill people. She gets told to kill people. If she does it, it's done. He doesn't, take her off the streets, kill her, whatever. He doesn't care. But what he wants is a dirty cop that blew Chernvizik out, destroyed his case. Whoever it was that leaked this, he needs proof. Saral Muvar, he says, they've got, if it is Muvar, they have friends, old friends in ISB. It will be difficult to pursue a case above board. I need you to bring me that case.
That makes sense. And this is payback, right? We'll make sure that
Well,
she
you said it
pays.
yourself. When a man's partner dies, it doesn't matter what you thought about him. You have to do something about it.
Yeah, and we'll make sure she pays for that. Good.
Yeah. Does that feel okay, Alexi? I know I'm just immediately pointing at PC, but I figured in the last
Yeah,
session.
sure. Why
Yeah.
not?
And the whole Rex had deep suspicions in the first place, right? It's the blue hand is just a cinematic affectation to say, okay. So I think we've set up Tuk Tuk with his mission as a rat, right? Is to find the truth about this and get proof of it. Rex would suggest that if you can get Skara to testify that she didn't kill, to own up and to confess to the deaths of Payden Fenn, to say that he didn't see, that Skara left before, Crix and Saral Muvar. Like, there are options, right? There are enough loose threads that all of you have left dangling around. Saral Muvar's crime scene clear up was very much complicated by the fact that she got shot in the chest doing it. So there are lots of loose ends. But let us, I think, cut over to, I have questions really about so we ended up with Chernvizik in the hands of Skara, and I think that's a key one to ask now. Where does Skara take Chernvizik? Because you know what your orders were.
I don't remember what my orders were.
Your orders were to take him to the Rancor's belly, where Inez
Right. That's what they were setting up the secret lab thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what Inez ordered. But what did Edema say when we all got together and came up with our scheme, right?
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
I don't remember that.
I think you had left it vague and open.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I thought I had
thought there
two,
was sort
okay.
of a sense that we were taking the Vizics for our own purposes that were not necessarily aligned with the cartels at this point.
Yes, that was what that was the implication I got, but I think I think we have to rewind slightly and work out what was said there to decide whether or not Skara goes with what her official boss tells her or with what her old friend tells her.
I mean, the important thing was that they didn't meet, right? We had to keep them separate.
Yes, that was the important part. And I'm sorry. Yeah, it could have been intimated, hey, let's control Churn, but Edemo's much more concerned with trying to get Ebla out and
Yeah.
keep her safe. And the churn cooking, I think Edema would be fine if that ends up going to Inez, especially if it's a nice way to kind of fake out that we're also stealing Ebla away.
Yeah, and I think Skara feels similarly, except she's less concerned about Ebla and more about herself getting off world, preferably with Trem. So I think she'll take him to the Sarlacc's belly, because she doesn't want the heat of trying to hide him somewhere or ferrying him around or whatever.
Okay, so you deliver Churn to the Sarlacc's belly.
Yeah, and I think on the way there,
he is offering
she
you, by the
will
way. He's like,
spill
oh, I can
to-
make you rich. I can make you anything. You know, we could take over ourselves. We could be partners. You know, he's offering all kinds of things.
Yeah, and I think she just she ignores him. I think she just tells him, "You belong to NS now. You can't offer me anything."
Yeah.
And
Okay. Cool.
but she will. I think she will talk to Trem as soon as they have a moment when they're out of his earshot. She'll talk to Trem and try to basically tell her, I'm leaving Coruscant as soon as I can.
No Criffin way, like after all those cops that we just killed.
I don't know. I can't stay here. I have to leave.
I miss you.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Just me then. I'll be the only one left.
I'd rather you came with me, but
Come with. I've barely been like above, you know, sector 1000. Like up
me
there.
neither. But if we stay here, NS and this everything, it will just we'll die here soon.
Well, why don't we roll when you try to get your gang to follow your lead on something dangerous or costly or out of the ordinary? Roll plus hustle.
Ooh, is that what this is?
I think it is, because it could be a pressure someone, but I like the
yeah, we still
consequences
have
from
that
one.
dynamic. Yeah, true. That makes sense.
And you know, the consequences of they don't go along with a plan, or they don't follow your instructions precisely, or
Oh,
they're gonna
I'm not
need
going
like
to look at
drugs
that
for
right
the
now.
thing. Or
I need to open the dice.
This is an intense roll. Oh my gosh.
I'm glad that finally, though,
Yeah.
you've asked Trent whether or not she'd want to come with you. Because we've been working towards it, and I've just been thinking that, you know, maybe Trent should go along with it. Also, like, it should be verbalized at some point, right?
Yeah. And this is hustle. I have a 2 in hustle, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. $13.
Oh,
Oh my
nice.
God.
Yeah, you're. Maybe you're right. Maybe I can finally, if we leave, I don't know, maybe we can leave all of like Lake Till, that Baku, that Cref Hole. We don't have to kill anyone ever again, right?
Yeah. That's I have killed so many people the last few months, and I don't want to do it anymore. It's
Okay.
I'm not myself anymore.
And Tren like pulls out, like reaches into a pocket and pulls out like a vial of spice You know, she's like absent-mindedly, like just about to boost it, and then as you're talking, she's like, "Yeah, no more." And just flings it like off the walkway, like you know, the camera spirals down as it goes like into the depths of 1313. And yeah, so she's on board with you. I'll remind you that you know a route out. There are other routes out. Other players might be able to generate those for you. Tuk Tuk, for example, used to be a customs agent, and you know Tuk Tuk. Yeah. Haswapfo is just the cartel contact there. You know, everybody's got routes in. And then let's see. I think we've answered where Churn is. I think we come to Ebla and Muvar. You know, Muvar, you arrested someone. You arrested one of the cartel guys, right? Who I'm just going to call Krizik, just for the sake of it.
Yeah, good old Krizik.
Yep, Krizik, who is like bleeding out of the ears from the grenade launch, like concussion. And I suppose what I need to know is, like, firstly, between the two of you, Ebla, where do we go with her? You know? Do you have a stash? Do you have it back at your house? I did put in what I thought was, you know, originally we had for the Hawk's Den, like where Scara's original thing was, we had to move. I changed that because now it's part of just the slums, the Warrens, I should change it to. So you could hide them in like you know, you can easily afford to like rent out a slum room, right? And like stash someone there. So there is a whole move for when you hide a wanted NPC in the Warrens, roll with the questions.
The thing is, we're both maxed out on stress, right?
Yes, you are maxed out on stress, but there is no stress in Mark there. But I suppose I need to know for the framing wise more, because I want to also give you the chance to do your start of session move before we do anything.
It just looks like if we rolled a 7 to 9 on the Warren's move, we would have no choice but to let her bolt because we don't have any stress to mark to reassure her.
Yes.
So
that would be the consequence there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. Just checking.
Yep.
That's rough.
So
we're limping out of the, you know, busted up cartel motel, me with a prisoner, you with a rescuee, and you also don't look so good.
Yeah, and of course, as you were going out, that old woman poked her head out again, and you were like, "CSF, ma'am, it's fine." And because you were shouting, right? Because your grenade launcher had just gone off right next to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Edema is in bad shape. We see the Ratataki, their blood is kind of blackish when it comes out and is oxidized, and she's reaching up to her eye, and she kind of flings her hand every once, like, you know, snaps her hand, and you hear this like wet splat. Yeah.
Got it good, huh?
We gotta get out of here. We need to get Ebla safe. You want to hide in the Warrens? I could really make it to the Sarlacc's belly, though, but too many eyes.
Are you going to live?
Yeah.
You sure?
Neither of you two are gonna live when the cartel finds out what you did. I'm gonna, you know, when they find out what you did to Ploish.
Shut up, Krizik.
Yeah.
Is Quizzic like wounded or just arrested?
He's arrested, cuffed, and
okay,
like,
but
he's like messed up, but not like seriously so. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
He's like cowed, like.
Edema will like walk over, kind of stalk over, reaching if he has any like shrapnel, blaster holes, anything. She's just going to stick 2 fingers in that wound.
Dish out a beatdown, Rich.
Yes, that's what I'd like to do. Sweet. So dish out a beatdown is rolling with savagery, which I haven't had a pretty decent savagery. So let's
savagery. I like it.
Savagery. I'm trying to make it sound stylish, guys. That's what I'm after.
Yeah, that's Cartel for you, trying to make savagery seem stylish.
Ah, dang it! Only a 9.
Mm,
So on a beat down 7 to 9, you hurt them, but it's not enough. I clear 1 stress.
which is 2, as we discussed.
Ah,
due to
yes,
The,
yes.
the pity rolls, the pity rule.
Yay! Pity roll.
So I guess presumably he's like screaming, right, as Edema is torturing him. I'm gonna like grab Edema and like pull her off and be like, "You carking idiot! I need him conscious to testify and clear some of the heat."
Then Edmund just keep your mouth shut.
Keep her away from me, man. Keep her away.
And Edema really needed that.
Yeah.
She really needed that. So she doesn't push it anymore. That's it.
I mean, Sorrel, do you want to verbally abuse or shame some? Do you think Etama is someone you care about to any extent?
We've been through a lot together at this point.
It's true.
You know,
We're
we've been
almost
through
friends.
we're almost friends. Yeah, absolutely. I
I just
say
want
to
to point out
Edema,
on a hit, this makes Mark stress as well, which is the best part.
At least I got to take 2 down. So
Yeah.
of course it's great.
I'll say to Edema, I don't need another boneheaded bad cop partner. Just let me do what I'm good at here and don't get in the way.
Oof, nice.
You're an animal. You're a loose cannon. Like, yeah.
So yeah, verbally abuse or shame someone, roll with face. And that's a 7.
2 stress. And they mark 1 stress.
So all clear 2 as Edema marks 1.
Yes, this is so appropriate.
Okay, so you're gonna stash Ebler in the safe houses, right?
Yeah, we gotta put her somewhere.
In the Warrens. Probably where Etma's gonna patch herself
somewhere in
up
the
as well.
war.
Yeah. And Muvar is gonna head off to try and, bring in this
Yeah, I'm
person
gonna
and like clear her, get it back on the force effectively, right? Like
exactly. I'm gonna
this was gonna be the end of that anyways.
I'm gonna coach Krizik, to testify when I need him to testify, and then hand him over.
Yeah. It's a bit of a fudge, but I'm wondering if maybe that's the easiest way of doing that is the infiltration move by itself,
Yeah.
right?
Total. I'm totally cool with that because that's my start of session thing for cop stuff.
Yeah. I really like that move, but it's because it's a start of session move. Sometimes I don't feel that it works particularly well with like the ongoing narrative.
Well, when we start the
you pick another
session in the immediate aftermath of a shootout, maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be like a little bit of time passes, right? This is we need to settle like what open questions were, because otherwise I was like, well, you all go back to Etima's safe house, and then Inez opens the door and goes, honey, I'm oh. And it all goes horribly downhill from there. So yeah, let's roll plus grit.
Cool. Should I roll that before we roll stashing Ebla?
I'm going to come to the stashing Ebla. I think
Cool.
the narratively dramatic point to find out whether or not she was sufficiently stashed or not.
All right, infiltration time then. I am prepping a witness to bring him in, having him confess to some minor pimping and drug dealing, but also testify that there was cartel on cartel member violence at the motel, and it was definitely Bakuru who was blowing things up, and then this CSF officer turned up and hauled him out of there. So that's the story.
Yeah, and also, there are plenty of witnesses that can say that there was a CSF officer that was yelling at everyone, and she was a chiss, and she was the Ratataki.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the important thing is that I turned up and was helpful after the cartel members were blowing each other up.
You're a goddamn hero, right?
Goddamn hero.
Yeah.
That's a 10.
Nice. So you have access to the vital evidence and witnesses. I think that woman doesn't speak to CSF other than to say that it's very bad here. We don't we don't talk. You know,
Mhm.
it's not safe to talk. But yeah, yes, there was a chiss, and you know, they arrested someone, and so they confirm enough of your story for Krizik to basically, what do you promise? You know, you're gonna like, if he talks, you'll make this easier on him, right? Like if he gives you your
Exactly.
story of it,
Exactly.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he'll be, far away from the, Squidman's dogs, right? Like, whatever
Mm,
other, vengeance is out there, kind of, he's going to be, somewhere safe and relatively comfortable for Sam to
yeah.
send my way.
I think you do the thing of like, you may as well say what I want you to say, because if you don't, then I'm going to put in a report saying everything that you shouldn't say, and that'll
Hmm.
get back to the people who know, right? My story doesn't piss off anyone too important. You can
Yeah.
live, Krizik. You know,
Yeah.
the whole kind of like, you said that you weren't going to rat out to us. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell people that you ratted out anyways, and they're going to kill you no matter what. So you may as well actually rat out, and then I can protect you. Nice.
Yeah.
God, the more I think about it, the more I really want to play a rat in one of these games. Anyways, so yeah, Rex, you know, you pull it in. You are, Prefect Rex. You are you return back to duty. Tuk Tuk, you are being fed all the information from the CSF from Rex, by the way, right? And like you told him that, I imagine that you would have told him that you saw Muvar pick up a bio-grenade launch from the Tenwa clan, right? And yeah, so he hands it all over and he says, the cartel has had access to some heavy weaponry. This Ratataki that was seen on the scene. It's a shame that you weren't able to apprehend them. I think they are very dangerous, Muvar. I trust that you will make sure that another dangerous member of the cartel, is taken off the streets. So you've cleared it all. He tells you that, just so you know, officer, we had an attack on the safe house last night. We lost Bakim. Denny barely escaped with his life. And
Miri?
Miri, well, may the force be with her. She will need it. She's badly injured. In the room
Fucking
next to
cartel.
Payton Fens, I think.
Prefect, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yes.
I'll need to, if she can have visitors, I'll need to see her. I can't believe it. She had such a promising future.
Yes, well, it'll be very interesting to see what she says when she wakes up. As he hands over your, and I think like the hands like hold a little bit too long on your CSF badge as he's handing it back to you.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's good to be back, Prefect.
yes. Well, you'll be operating independently until we find another partner. We're running low on manpower.
Are you sure he doesn't have need for a partner?
Ooh, do you want to be assigned as like a, independent, like maybe like, well, I was one thing vague
Do
idea I
a
had for Tuk Tuk
buddy
was like,
cop, midnight run situation.
yeah, well, one thing I had as an idea for Tuk Tuk was that maybe like his sort of vague return is covered as in like he's a PR, like he's sort of operating as like a security consultant as well as like, he's an entrepreneur, a gambler, whatever, right? But he's also like the Sam Slade type character who's like, maybe Rex has got him back on the job like as a consultant to sort of make up the time. Does that work?
That would be okay. I kind of like the idea of we had to pull people out of retirement better, and here's your new
Okay.
partner.
Oh yeah. Well, look. Yeah, and he says, luckily, I have, an old friend has agreed to come back to the job and cover us while we have this shortfall in manpower. Say hello to your new partner. I think you've met. And Tuk Tuk probably like clambers up the back of the chair, right? Like, purged.
Right. And says, I'm glad we're able to serve together because, we both have mutual friends.
Tuck Tuck, good to see you in, well, perhaps not happier circumstances than the wake, but at least more productive ones if we're both here to help make 1313 a better place.
Absolutely. We've got to get the scum off the street.
Nice. Well, should we call it there? I think we've got enough of a thing. And like, I need the loo and another drink, so we'll take our first bio break a little bit early, guys. Welcome back. Soral Muvar will be rejoining us shortly. Something in the real world has come up for them. But Etma the Rebel has stashed thingy there, Ebla, who is, has been like almost catatonically mute, the whole way over. She is like shocked by everything that she's seen. And you've got this meeting though with a handler, someone that you made contact through the Dejarik parlor. So you leave Ebla behind. You tell her to sit tight and go. And we'll come to that move, I think, after we've resolved this scene, because I don't think it necessarily impacts upon this particular chain of events. But you've had to go back to your apartment to get dressed, to get changed, to look someone who can be like presentable enough to walk around your screw underbelly without immediately getting pulled by everybody or kicked out of the things. Describe what you look like after you've patched yourself up in your apartment, right? And I'm imagining that, like, the refresher is just like clothes just peeled off, like blood stains across like the counter and the thing,
there's
like
like
dirty rags and things.
The black streak of one point where she drug along a set of clothing. Edema, mostly from the dog. I think the dog like pierced her right eye, and so there's a brief like PG-13 version, but then there's also the uncut version of her doing a little bit of I don't know if you guys remember the scene from Terminator when the like bit of eye falls down into the sink thing. Yeah, I think there's a bit of that homage to that particular moment.
What drug do you think do you take to stop that?
Oh yeah, to stop the pain.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna just skip over this, but it seems like an interesting point, right? Because
she's pretty stressed out. I do think she's gonna need to.
I think it has to be whatever drug we would say would be the most effective, like painkiller. You know what I mean? I don't think alcohol could work. I don't think slick. I imagine slick is
but
more
I think it's spice because she's deals with it so much. She's got some, so
who knows whether it's the bad batch, right?
Oh God, that's true. She's in so much pain at this point. I don't think she cares. She cares, but yeah.
Well, you have to, right? Yeah.
Here we go. My grit is a -1, so this is going to go as well as most of my rolls. Oh, if only there was XP on a miss. That is.
Oh my God.
That is. Hold on. It changed my modifier. Hold on. That should be 5 and 2, 7. -1 is 6. It gave a +1 instead of a -1. That is a fail.
Oh dear. Okay. Well. I think you.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think that the force is going to need to be with you, because I think you're going to take a -1 ongoing now, for the purposes of the meat and stuff, right? Because what do you look like as you finish, right? Like shaking hands, like racking out the spice, and then like the camera, like shows you that T2, and it's like you don't even feel like the stuff. The camera cuts away. And what do you look like when it comes to, and there's like you staring in the mirror after your work is done?
Yeah. Let's see. Put the patch over the eye. She'll pick up a cyber eye at some point in some back alley. But she doesn't have time for that now.
As you're leaving to go to your screw underbelly, the door swings open, and Inez, what happened? And she like runs over to like hold your face, like, you know, what happened to you?
And Edema, at first, it's a bit of a play for time, but when she starts to cry, it just unloads like everything. She just turns and falls into a person that she remembers loving, and just tries to cry and pushes all of that out to maybe change the subject.
Push someone who cares about you away. That move off the lose yourself in a substance.
Yeah, sure. I think that's what I'll do. I was trying to do what you wanted. Just
I came to Scara delivered turn to the belly. You did it. But wait. I came to tell you that they found Boxy's head. That they have connection to you and to the thing for Churn. But I heard a shit. And a rat attack. Those dogs.
yeah.
Why did you do it? I can't protect you. I'll take care of this, Etna. I think we need to change how things are going. I don't think we can continue this way anymore.
No, we can't.
I'll do what I can to protect you.
I'm sorry.
You should find somewhere else to go. Somewhere I don't know about.
Yeah, I should.
And I think she goes over and she opens up like your like the wardrobe, and she reaches down and she pulls out like the hidden compartment where your go bag is, right? Because you're a spy, you have to have a go bag, right? And she knew about it the whole time. And she chucks it at you and says like, take care of yourself, Etna.
Ebla's getting out. Don't go after her. You've got Churn. You've got what you wanted.
I can save one person, Etna. That's the deals. You never understood what it took to survive down here. And yeah, I think we'll call it there with her. Like she refuses to look at you, right? As she looks out the window of the thing. And so yeah, ultimately you're walking off to this meet with your go bag. You know, she's promised that she's going to try and keep the cartel off you, but she knows.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah. And so we go to the Uskrew underbelly, and I think this is like a hookah type bar, you know, like kind of like a terrace on top of like one of the buildings on the Uskrew underbelly. You know, there's speeder bikes going over across, and there's a table booked. and it's, you know, it's table like 36, and like this string of digits you got is the Dejarik code. It was like the last thing, you know, it was like level 3 1 13 13 sector, no, whatever the screw underbelly is at the top of it, you know, building C4, like table 2, like D3, and order like item 7 off the menu kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah. And let me see if I can get this to work right. You're sat down there, you get your thing, and if you look in the NPCs tab, a man comes and sits down at the table opposite you. Do you recognize that man at the bottom of the thing?
Oh, yes.
I recognize this guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good.
He's been around, right?
He has. Oh, this guy's great. Shocking twist.
And he sits down opposite and he says, "So you're the one who got Astapone killed?"
Yeah.
Well, I can see it cost you.
Cost me a lot.
So, and I think this is the consequence of this one is that you're going to now have to make a roll to conduct business in public. It says we don't have long. ISB got word. Someone's active on this level. I think they know about you. I think they may know about me. It's hot here. Do you understand? That's what amateur hour brings down on us. So if you'd like to make the move, avoid suspicion. When you try to avoid suspicions whilst handling business in public, roll plus heat.
Nice.
I
My
think
heat
you
is actually pretty awesome, right?
Mhm.
Roll plus heat. You want to roll low on this.
Mhm.
So how does the
Is your minus
one
one ongoing
Yeah.
apply to this?
How does the -1 ongoing apply?
I think it'll only apply
do we
if it
flip
becomes a
it?
complication.
Okay, that seems
Yeah.
fair. That seems fair.
Yeah. But you are
Okay.
are you carrying a lot of money? Like,
All of
you
it.
just be honest about, yeah. So you're carrying a lot of money.
All
you're
of my
not
money.
transporting a body. You are also equipped with military weaponry. I believe you have. You know, your bag is like, it's a
Blaster
you know, you've got-
carbine, a vibra sword, a sniper rifle. Yeah.
yeah.
A
You've
blaster.
got several bags with you as you're here, right? So that is a +2 on the heat, I think.
Okay, so it goes from -1 to 0 to +1.
Yep.
Doing business. Here we go. Oh, I don't want to click the button. It's an 8.
An 8. Okay. Yeah, local security takes an interest. So it's not the ISB, the people who have actually been looking for you. But there is a stepped up patrol, and you know, they come in. You know, some CSF droids. You can see them like working their way through this thing, and Garrick like eyes them and says,
It's all right. I just need to flash some money their way.
"Okay, I can't stay long. I'm getting off planet soon.
Take me with you.
You want to come? I thought this was your home. I thought this was the mission."
I don't even know anymore. Skara wants out. Yeah. No, you got to take Skara with you. I'll finish the mission, but you have to take her with me. I'm sorry.
I've got space for 2 people. That's man. 2. This isn't a luxury shuttle. I'll be hiding in the back of what should be a one-man tug I can get 2 people. You want
2 and you, or 2 counting you?
2 and me. And I'm not trading my position.
Sure.
They need me off-world. But if you stay, well, we're taking a hands-off approach to Coruscant for the meanwhile. Things are acting up in the CSA. Warlord Zinj is taking territory. They're redeploying me. They're going to try and go the diplomatic route with the Imperials here with Pestage. I don't think it'll work, but we're compromised. Someone like you could still be a valuable asset. There are groups here, but you'd be making your own mission. There'd just be a dead drop. The Dejarik Parlor. We can supply you with creds. We can supply you with a new safe house. And I can put you in touch with the people those weapons are going to. Or you can come with me.
You know about the Chiss plan, right? You got that?
The Ascendancy.
Yeah.
We'd heard rumors about them. That's big news. That's the only reason I'm even here to talk to you. Do you understand?
Yeah. I understand. Okay. Okay, I've got 2 people to go with you.
I can't remember. Did you say anything about Ebla in your message to the Dejarik thing? I don't think you did you? It was all about Chiss.
Yeah, I think it was just about the Chiss. And I think at this point, Edema's now decided Ebla and Scar are going to go.
Okay. Still leaves a space.
Yeah, it means Edema doesn't go, and Edema doesn't know. It means that Chen doesn't go, but that's the decision that Edema's now come to, kind of her thought bubble there. And she reaches across to this guy's, Garrick, thank you. I'll stay. I'll make this work. But you've got to keep that space open for 2. A member of the Alliance, and somebody who needs a new start. Okay?
Okay. And he slides you over a data pad. And whatever the Star Wars version of a key is. And he says, there's a group. They scattered after the Imperial crackdown. You can find them on the lower levels. The exiled. Non-humans mainly. They were forced out when the Empire started to crack down harder and harder after the celebrations on Endor after Endor. They're who your weapons have been going to. They were a bit hot for Astapone's liking. A bit eager. But we'll be back. We're coming one day. Maybe you could help each other. And maybe you can find whatever else happening on this railroad that we keep hearing about. Lots of Imperial secrets going off world, and we could easily snatch them up. You happy with your mission, soldier?
Carking delirious.
And he looks at the glazed eyes with the spice effect, and he's like, yeah. Well, you take care of that. And he nods at the cops and says, and I'll see whoever it is. I'll see you, whoever it is that's coming. At Dock 5 at Sheev Spaceport, blah, blah, blah. You know?
Okay.
And when you turn to pay off the guards, and I think that you paying off the guards means that you've used a chunk of your credits that you had with you, right?
Sure.
But you had enough money on you, I think, to support it. And for the purposes of the rest of the session, I think that you are whatever the lowest version of lifestyle is. That makes sense. Yeah. And the rest of that stuff was a framing for a potential epilogue, whatever, right? I'm imagining it as Ettima being, you know, the local guerrilla backer kind of thing. Leading her own rebel cell, perhaps. Yeah, that's the price of the births, buying your way back in. Okay. Now, I think, okay, so we got that. We've done that. I'm almost tempted to get you to mark a stress, but I feel like you're already so suffering under stress.
And also, you know, you're taking all my finances away. Come on, I can't even straight my
Yeah.
finances. I think I paid a little bit here. If you're okay with it. All right. So.
Yeah, I am okay with that. Yeah, yeah. I take a lot of my leads from a game called Red Markets, and in Red Markets, you'd be screwed every which way, left and center. So yeah.
Of course.
Anyways, yes. Okay. So what's next on the agenda for? Let's do a quick round of like scenes. I think, you know, like anything that people will want to pursue. And I'll start off with. Well, let's start off with Tuk Tuk, I think. Is there any particular scene you want to frame or you want to avenue of pursuit? And feel free, of course, to suggest it with other players and so forth.
So I'm thinking we need to investigate more about this bombing that just happened. And I think Sarl, Muva, and myself would go investigate this grenade launcher and try and tie everything together.
You're going after Baku, I guess, in that sense, because Saral has already established the case that Baku was the Baku, and
Yeah, I got an eyewitness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess this is in the squad car, right? Like in your speeder together,
Squad
right? You
speeder,
and your partner. Yeah.
Can we?
Is that the right direction? Is that where you think Sarl Muva would go, or do you think that? Is there any reason that you would be like, no, we can skip that step and go to something else?
No, I want to call her Baku. Edema said she'd deliver him up. So can we say we've got, you know, like some kind of a lead on where he might be?
Yeah, well, there is a move called Connected. When you go looking for a criminal in the plaza to help with a problem, name them and roll plus face. On a hit, they track them down, they've got what you need, and a 7 to 9, pick one, and a 10 plus both. Or you've got Stalker. When you follow someone through the streets, roll with grit. So they're a move on each playbook.
Oh, cool.
You know, I think they change like the.
Yeah, Connected would be if we've got another contact that's gonna point him out to us, and Stalker would be if we've like, you know, or if we're just like following him, you know, in a stealthy way. I'm cool to roll Stalker, but do you want to roll your rat move, Tuk Tuk, or save it for another thing?
Well, I think Connected could even be, you know, Baku, frankly, like that, you know, right? And it changes the how does he greet the guy who he's lost a load, that he's gambled with loads of times in 8 Lives before.
So
that's pretty funny.
I think this is a good way for Tuk Tuk to prove himself to Sarl and say, hey, here's how we're gonna do this. So this is with face. I've got a 2, and I rolled an 8, so that gives me a 10.
Nice. Both. They aren't caught up in their own problems, and you don't owe them a favor or an apology for everything.
Yeah.
So do we see back? Is it in fact a backroom sabak parlor that we find Baku in?
Yes,
you know,
I think Tuk Tuk, you know, goes and we see him, you know, we see him take the Corset card, right? The equivalent of an ATM card, and he withdraws some credits. And then he starts greasing some wheels. He goes to, you know, this person, and we see him, you know, chit-chatting, and they're like, oh yeah. And we see that the scum that he's talking to shows him a little bit of respect. And then
we definitely see talking to Gant Argon as well, the loudmouth, right?
Yeah. And we see a couple of credits tinkle. And then we see, you know, a little bit of a drink, and this is kind of a montage. We see Tuk Tuk taking a couple of drinks with somebody, and then the bar tab gets paid. and and then eventually it's like, yeah, and then
Oh,
I think the two of us
I
walk
like
into a
to imagine
backstore.
you get Muvar to pay for everything, right? Like that's like the partner scene, right? Like is the you're the streetwise, like these streets, like, and everybody here, and Muvar's like the CSF bank, basically, like paying for all of your drinks and stuff.
Ugh, I thought you're supposed to be a high roller, Tuck Tuck.
I am, but someone's got to pay.
Yeah, high rollers don't play with their own money. Yeah, and we find, you get pointed out tobacco at the back of this thing. It's got, a guy in the bar somewhere, but they're not really paying any attention to anything. And he greets, like there's a table, and there's a couple of other, sentients with him as well. Probably a Biff, and a really nasty looking human, all in like rags and strange Star Wars gewgaws, and Baku leaning back with a big load of credits in front of him, and he's like, the Anzellen, come, oh, you brought a friend, you buying in?
Well, we should talk about things, and then we'll see how much I buy in.
Hate to play, my friend.
But I kind of nod at Muva and have him produce the credits to come in.
I'll sigh and ante up.
So, what brings you down here, Tuk Tuk?
Well, we've had a bunch of people get shot up more than recently, and we need to.
That's Skyra, I hear.
Yeah.
We've got one witness placing you at the scene of the motel shootout.
No, we know it's not you, right?
Probably a misunderstanding.
Yeah, we just need to figure out what's going
His
on here.
Hands are tightening on the table at that. He's like, me? At the dead Hutt? You think I had something to do with that?
Well, no, of course not. We think that, but we think you might know who does.
Tren?
You think
Yeah.
Tren did this?
Skara, they're loose cannons. They're Black Sun. You can't trust them.
Do you have anything that we can, on the street, justices, we just take them out. But with my new authority, I need a little bit more proof. Do you have anything for me?
I wasn't there. It was that Quarren Proish. He was supposed to take care of the whole thing. They were looking after some Deveronian, some, little lost lamb that was going to be used to keep the new cook in line.
Yeah.
Wasn't my job.
Proish got himself blown up, crying shame. But if you were willing to testify, maybe we could make this all go away in exchange for some cooperation.
Fin to make me a snitch, cop.
We're looking to make you someone smart.
Roll to pressure someone, I think.
Okay. That is with hustle.
Yeah.
My hustle is a -1.
Do you want me to do it? I've got a +1 hustle.
Ooh, or propose a deal.
What are the responses for propose a deal? This is money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's better. Okay.
Yeah.
Propose a deal is with face.
It's a quid pro quo, isn't it? You're giving him the opportunity to try and pin it on Tren.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure where you guys are going with this, by the way, but I'm willing to.
I think we're
see where
going
you
in
go.
slightly different directions, right? Where Soral just wants to bring Baku in, thinking that this will help her, take him down and satisfy her friends, whereas Tuk Tuk has his own agenda.
Yeah, Tuk Tuk is basically looking to angling to get proof about where this came from, and see if he can't get anyone to slip up, specifically Sorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So propose a deal is with face, and my face is a 2, and I rolled an 8, so that makes it a 10. And they choose take the deals it stands or mark stress.
They take the deal as it stands. They say, well, proof. I haven't got proof, but you guys can make your own, right? You're the cops. That's what you do. Money changes hands, and oh look, suddenly the evidence is found from a locker somewhere. Who knows, right? But Trent, I mean, well, I know for a fact Trent got some of your guys killed.
Some of our
Scarrow.
guys
Yeah,
killed.
CSF. Boys in blue, I hear one of them's in the hospital. Let's hope she makes it, right? But Scarrow and Trem,
May the force be
they're
with
like
her.
that. They're wildcats. You can't trust them. If anybody hit that, it was them. You find Scarrow, and I know where she is, and basically Tuk Tuk now has the opportunity to find Scarrow wherever he would want to find her, right? Baku's got his own eyes and ears around town.
And you'll come to the station, give us a sworn statement to this effect.
Roll out the red carpet. That grenade launcher you're talking about could have only come from the Tanwa. Everybody down here knows that the Tanwa have got that. Scar and Trent, they're in with the Tanwa. They did business back in the day. They're always talking about those girls. In the little Jawa noise, they're always asking about them.
Thank you so much for your assistance, Mr. Ryu.
Yeah, sure thing. And he pulls over the credits, like from the other side of the table. Doesn't even show it. Puts down his Sabat card. He's got the weakest hand in existence. Doesn't even bother looking at yours and just pulls across the chits, right?
Oh, Tuk Tuk can't take that. He actually just lays down his cards that definitely beat his, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm glad we know who's who. And then Tuk Tuk kind of hops down from the chair and they head out.
Nice. I love that. Cool. Okay, well, you guys have got what you've got. Baku is convinced that at some point, he'll come to a location of your choosing to fabricate a confidential, CI kind of report that links like Tren, Scara, whoever you want. Obviously, he's not going to implicate himself in that situation.
Unless additional pressure is brought to bear at that point.
Of course, yes, indeed. Ettima, I think now is a good time for that safe house move, don't you?
Yeah. Now my -1 ongoing happens, and
yeah, because
no, you don't have enough. You don't have enough stress for the other option. Also,
yeah,
not for lack of trying though. Sadly,
I did try. We had a wanted NPC in the Warrens roll with questions, right? That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Do they trust you completely?
No.
Do they understand the danger they are facing?
Yes.
Do they have a famous face or reputation?
No.
Do they pose a threat to a powerful narco?
I'm going to go with yes.
Okay, so then I'm rolling flat, and then -1 ongoing. So I'm rolling at -1. This die roller does not like a -1. Neither do I, but
oh,
I rolled a 7. -1 is a 6.
Can I help?
Yes,
Given
If
that-
you want
can
to,
help.
you certainly can
Yes,
try.
yeah, you were there in the briefing with Ebla, you know, like when you hold her up in there.
Right.
You can help.
Though of course, let me double check what helping can get us, right? On a because
A
for
+1.
Not going to make a big difference, but maybe a little.
Oh
So
yeah,
the
'cause she'll
options
ball
are
either way, won't she? Because you
on a
on
miss, they flee at the first opportunity, or their enemies arrive in force. MC's choice. But on a 7 to 9, they
All
are
you do
too
is basically
nervous.
take away the ability for the MC to have enemies arrive in force. But on a miss and 7 to 9, I don't have the stress to reassure.
Okay,
So she's gonna
should
bolt.
we? I'm trying to think because can I take that stress
or do you want somebody? You can take this. The 2 stress for that one.
the only question is because I have to wager stress anyway to help her interfere. So
Mhm.
I won't know till after I make this roll whether I even have stress left over.
Well, I mean, your choice, Alexi.
Oh boy, Rich, what do you think? Should we try to push this up and see if we can salvage this at all?
Of course, I want to salvage it, but I understand if you don't want to risk it because you've got other stuff going on.
No, see, here's the thing. I promised Peyton Fenn that I would help Ebla get out of this. I can't confess my sins again until I do that penance. So I'm gonna help. I have space to wager 2 stress on this.
And this is you, reassuring her that Fenn, right? Like you go back.
Right.
You promised him that you'd look after her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not like
Those animals.
who was we're not like Tren. We're genuinely trying to help you here, Ebla. You have to believe us. Peyton Fenn is an old friend. I need to do this. I need to live up to a promise I made him. All right.
Okay.
So let's try to help.
Try.
Wagering 2 stress on this. That's a 12.
Nice. So we're on the 7 to 9 level.
Yep.
Which means that I will let Alexi mark that stress to do that, to get here.
Okay, so I'm fully stressed out, but we have successfully hidden Ebla away.
Yeah. So she's sitting tight. You don't have to worry about her being in the wind. She is sitting tight.
Oh my god! I can't believe we pulled it off.
That was all flashback to will she still be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so is there anything that Etma would like to do proactively?
I'm in the Warrens.
You can be wherever you want to be. I think you would have had to have been in the Warrens if this had been a full myth. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
But as it all turned out well, you can be wherever you want to be ultimately. I can cut over to Skara and ask her.
Cut to Skara. Yeah? Cut to Skara, I'll think.
Skara.
Yeah, I think.
I actually have a question as well.
Yeah, sure.
How does Skara feel about Muvar?
About
Saral Muvar putting a big target on her back?
Well, she's a cop, and that's never good. And
specifically, I mean about the Crix Hera.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Crix was. Crix being dead, that doesn't bother her. He was untrustworthy. He was a scumbag, basically.
He was a hero.
Yeah, to all the wrong people. But trying to pin it on her, that's not that doesn't sit well with her. It's not like she'll go after her for it, but it's something she keeps in the back of her mind.
Yeah, okay. I just really wanted to know whether or not it was a thing that you had like a long term, like,
No,
yeah,
no.
cool. Okay, then let's return to what it was that you know, where are you now? Like, Trent's willing to go with you.
Yeah, I think, and this is actually, I'm angling for confess your sins here, because I'm full out on stress and my grit is terrible.
So you're going to do that with Trent?
Yeah, I think what we're doing is, after we've delivered the cook, and now we've agreed to try to get off planet, but kind of just ground ourselves in the old neighborhood, like
Yes, I really like the
uh,
idea of it as we cut away from like the flashback to Ebla in like the Warrens. You know, like
yeah,
we cut over to another part of the Warrens, which was the old hawk stand that you and Trent used to
yeah,
hang out in, right? And it's still
and
got like where Lintel like had tagged the wall with stuff, right? And it's got the nerf herder, the one who was a real, I can't remember his name.
yeah,
Who was a real, like, got you in trouble all the time. You can see like some of his like old jackets and things like left lying around.
yeah. So we've like picked up a few bottles of synthahol or whatever it's called, the not alcohol, and we're riding the speeder bike there, and I think Tren is driving, and like Skara sitting behind her and just holding her very closely. And then they kind of walk around the neighborhood, not talking that much, just pointing out things, drinking, and ending up in like an old, like what used to be a place where one of them, where someone in the gang, where Leitil lived, let's say, where she stayed for a while, and now it's just a squat. It's like abandoned, and they're sitting there drinking, and Skara starts talking about the reporter, because that's the one that's weighing on her. Like everyone else she's killed, they've been in the game in one way or another, but she was just a person, and she didn't know what was going to happen, and she didn't deserve that sort of thing. It was just Ines thought at some point she might become a problem, and it's all because she knew Crix, and so that's the one she needs to.
The sin you're
talk about.
confessing is that killing became has just become all too easy for you, right? But like,
Yeah, and she
and like,
feels it. I mean, it's easier every time, and she's
and Bramir was an innocent, and so was
Yeah.
Leitil, and you know, you only became this person because Leitil died, and you wanted to kill all of you know, you wanted to get on top of things. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's roll to confess your sins then with Tren. See how much Tren, you know.
Yeah, and this is risky, because who knows what will happen. But I'm rolling with hustle. I have a +2. Let me find it. It's a 9.
Okay. Clear your stress track. You can't confess again until you you perform some sort of penance, which I suppose is you know, sparing somebody. I think that would probably be, you know, show some sort of meaning that you are done, you know, that you want to stop killing people, I guess. You know, that when she said that she's going to get clean from drugs, you're going to get clean from like the violence. It's just become second nature to you at this point, right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, if you could make a note of that, see if it comes up again. I don't know if it will do, right? We're only so many confessor sins in a session anyways. But yeah, I like it. You know, and it says, well, maybe we can be new people out there, you know? No one needs to know who we were. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like that.
And so Ettima.
Yeah, I think even though she's weary, wounded, hurting, still a little high, she did have this little bit of a victory when she met with the handler. She needs to find Skara.
Okay. Yes. I very much enjoy that, Ruvan. That'll be your next scene. Okay. So you find Skara. I don't think in the same time as Tren and this whole heart-to-heart, like
Sure.
a different point.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe after that.
Yeah.
After they're on the same page, they come in and mess everything up.
Maybe Skara's still hanging around there. Actually, Tren's gone home, right, and Skara's still kicking around her old den, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think she's probably like picking up memento or something, you know, some old tools or something they used
no,
to use.
I'm being daft. You know, Inez kicked Ettima out of her apartment, right? But Skara's was staying there, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
So I think that we're going to start off quickly with Skara going back to the place, and Inez with a pair of droids holding like packed suitcases, like standing in the corridor, and she comes out and she sees you and she's like, Skara, I saw that some of your stuff was there. I didn't realize you were staying with Ettima, but it is all still there.
Oh, okay. What's going on?
She just smiles, hands you the keys to the door. You know, she says, consider this place yours now. Our time here is over. And my time, you were very good at what you did, Skara. But you will be taking your orders from somebody else now.
Why? What's happening?
Oh, I will be stepping down from my position. Miss Tavi will be taking over once more. Maybe I'll see you around 8 Lives, huh?
Yeah, sure.
One last thing. The last job. It was wonderful. You did well. But they didn't even see you. They just saw a CSS officer. They did see your friend, I'm afraid.
What? Foxy? But he's dead.
Tren. I don't care about the criffing droid.
What do you mean they saw her?
The wounded one in hospital.
I thought they. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Just a heads up. I hope
Yeah.
you and she leans in and she says, don't let her get close. She seems so strong and so brave. But she's not like you and me, Skara. She doesn't understand what we have to do. And she just hurts herself. And she smiles and she's going to walk off, basically. So, you know, she's just telling you that she's broken up with Ettima, warning you off like a relationship with her, right? And she doesn't look happy when she's saying this and telling you that Miri, you know, the heat is going to be on Tren for as at least a witness and a suspect wanted in the connection of the murder of 2 more CSF, the attempted killing, etc.
Yeah, great.
And Ettima obviously arrives not long after that, back at the apartment. And it's bare now of all of the stuff that made Ettima's and Inez's life in here, right? There's just the room, the guest room where Skara's stuff was.
I found you.
Hey, what's going on? Ines was here, and I think she took all your stuff.
No, we broke up.
Oh,
It wasn't working.
okay. She said she's stepping down. I mean, does that happen?
What? She didn't tell me that.
I don't
Why didn't she tell me that?
I don't know what's going on, but
Hey, I have the best news for
What?
you. I've got you passage off world.
Really?
I can only get you out, but I can get you out. You and Ebla. It took a lot, but you deserve it. You shouldn't be here.
I just talked to Trem and convinced her to come with me.
Oh, you've got your own way out?
I don't know. I figure with the payoff from the job, I could probably the ones who've been smuggling the Imperials.
Okay. Great. Good. Good for you.
But what about you? Are you staying here?
Yeah. I don't have anywhere else to go. I still... There's some other stuff I can do.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of anything anymore.
So to clarify, Ettima's offered you a way off planet, which you still haven't really secured for you and Trent.
Yeah, I know, but at this point, I can't leave Trent behind. And I mean, a bit earlier this session, I was thinking, yeah, maybe just me and Tren and Ebla gets to stay behind, but I'm not in that place anymore.
I think Edema will move closer to Skara and reach out and touch Skara's shoulder, and it's an intimate touch. I'm part of the Rebel Alliance. I'm going to be creating a new cell.
Oh, like fighting the Empire?
Yeah.
Okay, that's out of nowhere.
Be surprised. I just wanted you to know before you're gone that that's why I'm not coming with you. I want to actually matter.
And you
And
could
that's
matter
the
too,
only-
Skara. I just want to put that out there. You could be part of this.
So not trying to recruit you, but it could sound that way.
Yeah, I mean, what would, maybe, I'm not saying you have to, but like you said that, this killing, right? It was all for nothing. It was for the criminals. Innocents got hurt. Like, can you make amends?
Oof.
Just
Yeah. No,
Ken could be safe.
I think that's plan B. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Which were you trying to trigger one of the stress moves there?
I don't think she can confess her sins anymore because I thought she had to make it up to
Payden Fen.
Payden Finn. So I was actually
I
buying off the
actually
secrets key. But yeah, what were you thinking?
I think you have burned your bridges very heavily with the cartel in your rescue of. I think that is enough to warrant your.
Oh,
You tried your best. You are trying your best to rescue this woman. 'Cause
okay.
otherwise, it's like it's impossible to pay it off before the end of the thing. It sounds, you know.
All right. I will definitely do that. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and I trust you to carry on in that vein rather than go like, well, now that I've cleared that penance, screw it.
No, definitely
Yeah.
not. Oh my goodness. Is high good? I can't remember anymore. It's been so long since I've
Yes,
done
it
that.
is. It is good. You clear your stress track.
I clear my stress track. Oh my goodness. This feels so weird.
Yeah, I get that. Trying to do something good, but I have to get away from here. There's
Right. Of course.
there's too much history and too many people who are after me.
Okay. Well, that's why I made sure that he saved you a seat.
Yeah, I can't tell you what that means to me, but I can't leave Tren behind.
I'll take care of Tren. I'll do it.
I have to
Well, I'm going to suggest we could have you thinking about that. You know, this is the open question at the end, and we can just cut back for how did that scene end? You know, like what was the decision made rather than play it out, right? Let's do Sarami. If I wanted to do a confess the sins at the hospital, so let's do that, and then we'll have a bio break, and then we'll finish off. Does that sound good to people? It's like a
Yeah.
So Muvar comes to the hospital. Who is it you're going to go see?
I think it's got to be that I appear in Peyton Fenn's doorway and just nod to him like, I did it. I did my part. And then go to Miri's hospital room.
Oh, I think you hand over that little pin.
Oh, the rebel
that we
pin.
saw from
that's what it is. Like
yeah,
I stand next to him and put something down on the bedside table, and he kind of painfully turns and sees it's the little rebel pin.
Yeah, and he just nods as you go out the door.
Yeah, so that means I can confess again for having helped to rescue Ebla, and I'm going to go to Miri's hospital room. How's she doing?
Again, she's in a bad way. She's I mean, what do you think this looks like in the fun Star Wars sort of medical sense?
Could she be in one of those tubes?
In a Bacta tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in a Bacta tank, yeah. And she's floating, and as you come up, you put your hand against the Bacta tank, right? And her eyes flutter open with the rebreather mask on. And she puts her hand up on it, and it comes through. And if I had a voice modulator, this would be so much better, of course. But it's all crackly through the little speaker that they've got inside of the mouthpiece.
Miri, I'm so sorry.
She's not going to say, it takes a lot of her effort to say, so she's going to let you say whatever it is that you want to say.
I pushed you to say what you shouldn't have, and I can't help but feel like that caused the carnage at the safe house.
Her eyes are white, like those eyes are like fluttered and like days as they look
Mhm.
out of the tank. And as you say that, like they sort of like start to blink rapidly, and the eyes widen, and you hear it.
Someone must have heard. I never wanted to put you in danger. I have to make it up to you somehow.
I don't think this is really confessing your sins, to be
Yeah,
honest.
because it's
Like,
too
it's-
elliptical.
Yeah. I think that this is more a sense of I'm almost tempted to say it's to justify your behavior.
Yeah, that's fair. She is kind of trying to justify her behavior.
And it's changing what Miri believes happened when she told you about it, right? Because
Yeah.
she hadn't even made the connection.
Hmm.
That conversation, like Rex had his suspicions about it, right? But
Yeah.
she didn't actually. She's too innocent. She believed in you, but you've planted it, and it's whether or not she blames herself for talking, or she suspects that you know,
Yeah.
or she blames you for it.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
You know, Soral, this is gonna suck for Soral, right? Who was, I think, trying to relieve stress,
Yes.
but just can't, you know, feels like she can't actually confess the truth. All right.
So here's an option, by the way.
Oh yeah?
If Tuk Tuk is there, after you get through with your justify your behavior, if Tuk Tuk is there, you confessing to Miri in front of Tuk Tuk may be a confess your sins. No?
Because the way he's saying it is so suggesting that I'm not at fault really here, you know? And I think confessing your sins involves saying what it is that you actually...
It's
okay.
You accept guilt agency, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm putting it out there. The you know, the miscondition for confess your sins is they see through your false contrition. So.
Yes, no, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. They see through your false contrition.
Because then but if you think there's no way this works, then we don't need to roll it to a different role.
I think it is justified. I agree with you there. I just think that like the whole amelioration, you know, like the bit that makes you feel better is that you're actually saying things that you regret, rather than like if you think about it, like I shouldn't have put you in that position, but I did completely put you in that position, and I knew I was doing it when I did it, kind of thing. So
yeah, no, I'm up to justify my behavior.
Yeah.
That seems fair. Rolling with face for that. That's an 11.
Cool. Well, they accept your logic. You know, like she bangs her head against the back to tank and says, and you just hear it crackle through, like, tell him I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you can't blame yourself. I'm the one who's sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll turn around, not feeling as better as I thought I might.
Yeah, sorry to make that harsher on you, but I do really
that's
think
fine. That's a totally accurate judgment on the character, I think.
I really like the idea that you did come there to confess your sins, but you can't help like this double life that you lead so much that you just suddenly found yourself like unable to even do it. Yeah, cool. Tuk Tuk, is there anything that you would like to?
No, the two things that I could see was either going with Sarov Muva and overhearing some of this in order to get a lead on betrayal, or Tuk Tuk could have gone off and tried to track down. We know where Skara is, right? So Tuk Tuk could open up a can of shit at the end of Etma and Skara's meeting, whichever kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Should we take our bio break and we'll come back for that stuff? Right.
Perfect.
So we come back to how did that hanging question at the end of Skara and Etma's like heart to heart, where Skara said that she'd get both her and Tren off world by herself. And then Etima's, was saying like, I need to get you, I'll get you out, I'll look after Tren. But also saying a lot of rhetoric that kind of reminded you that there are higher causes in the cartel in the galaxy.
Yeah, but also now I'm going to come down on the side of calling her out. It's it just feels right. It's painful and I hate it, but it's what I have to do. So and this is I'm going to do this a bit softly, so maybe it doesn't trigger the key thing. You'll just have to be the judge of that. But yeah, because I think Skara pulls away a little from that touch, and like turns half away. She's not looking at Etima. I don't understand how you can say that. I mean, I'm not a soldier. I'm not in the rebellion, but I see the vids. I know what happens to people who fight the Empire, and you've had contacts. You've had ways out of here this whole time. Now you tell me about it.
No, you misunderstand. I've earned this. I earned this way off, and I'm giving it to you, Skara. Because my mission's not done, but you can get out. Get out of the life. Go to some Dust Bowl planet and, I don't know, carve things, or who cares? Skara, please take the thing that I know you want.
But just me, right?
Tren is dragging you down. I could put her to use. Tren is a barnacle on you, Skara. And as long as you hold on to her, you're going to be stuck here doing the poodoo that the cartel doesn't want to. Take this chance. Get out of here.
I'm willing to say that's a verbally abuse or shame someone, frankly.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's even saying that, like, if you take Tren with you, she'll just drag you down elsewhere, right?
Oh yeah, that's exactly 100% what I'm saying.
Nice. I love that, by the way. If I could just give experience to people for like doing things that I like.
A 6.
Oh my god.
3 on 1 plus 2 for my face is a 6. Oh, -1 on going from pain. So 5.
Oh, you can get rid of that one. I'm fine with that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yay.
But still a 6. Unless Skara wants to help you.
Nope.
My cowardice is clear. Here, I do your worst, Will. But it's obvious, like part of this that probably is a bit of the failure is that it's obvious that Etima isn't going to care for Tren. Etima is trying to remove Tren from Skara so the Skara will be happy. And Etima will use Tren, but Etima is not going to care for Tren.
So, I mean, to me, that sounds Skara is that this is another person trying to use you and everything else. Like, yeah.
I thought.
You know what, Mark? I know it's a miss on Rich's move, but Marcus stress Skara, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. I thought you and I were alike. I thought we did what we had to do to help the ones who who rely on us, but you know, Trin is the only person who matters to me, and you want me to leave her behind. She's the only one I have left. I'd rather take my chances with her anywhere else than leave her behind here with you.
I think that can be the end of that scene, I think, really, right? Like, anybody else would be better than you.
Do I take a stress from hearing that?
If you want to, I think that's
I
perfectly
think so.
appropriate.
I
Yeah.
think so.
And then, of course, we're having it's a lot of PCs meeting PCs. This thing, which I like.
The best.
But,
This is
yeah.
awesome.
So, Skara and Tuk Tuk. I think. Well, where do you think you guys meet?
How about basically Tuk Tuk has a link on where Skara's been staying. So Skara's been staying here at Etima's old apartment and strolls in as soon as that interchange ends. And, basically just comes, what, 2 foot tall, a foot and a half tall, just strolling in like he owns the joint. And it's like, Skara, I knew you'd be here.
Oh, because obviously Etima was the one who got kicked out of her own apartment at the end of that scene, actually, right? The place that you gave to Skara kicked you out of it. So
yeah,
Skara's
unless
still back in it.
Etima's still here, I don't know.
That depends. Do you want to be here, Rich?
I mean,
Or do you
I'd
want to
like
left?
to be here. That would be
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
Just because I want to meet Tuk Tuk and as portrayed by you.
So yeah, comes in like he owns the place and says,
Sees two very scary looking women standing off against each other.
yeah.
Right.
And I think as par for the course, walks over, gets up on a chair, gets up on the table so he's more eye to eye to everyone, and is like, I thought you'd be here. We have some discussions that need to occur. Skara.
And now I don't remember. I don't think Skara has met Tuk Tuk. We haven't met in
He's-
game at
No, but
least.
like he's been
But she
around
was-
Eight Lives. He gambles. He's like
Yeah,
Crick's
yeah,
Sarah's old
that's true, that's
partner.
true.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I
like
thought you'd
Oh,
met
mhm.
him back whenever he was the partner of Crix.
yeah, he will have done at least once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But like we can infer a whole existing relationship.
yeah.
And it's like, I hear, everybody thinks you killed my last partner, Crix. But I've got a little birdie that tells me you didn't do it.
I've got a little boxy that tells me you didn't do it.
Oh, perfect. I've got a little
Yeah.
boxy that tells me you didn't do it. And I think that clues Etima in that Tuk Tuk saw recordings from Boxy.
Yes.
And I've got a little boxy that told me you didn't do it. And I think you know who did. And I'm here to find out.
I don't know. I just know that Saral was there.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I think
three cops came in after me. One cop came out, and I only killed one of them. So who do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So surely you have proof of this. Surely you have some way to show this. I mean, it's really important that you do, Skara. Because everyone's coming down for you. Everyone believes you killed Crix. And I'm telling you, there were 2 more. Was it 2 more officers who were killed last night?
Mm-hmm.
2 more officers were killed last night. And if it's you and your crew who did it, there is no way you're going to get out of this apartment without the cops gunning you down. I think at that he actually kind of pulls out his gun and kind of starts twirling it. It's a tiny little thing, right? Yeah.
Sounds like you're trying to pressure me or something.
I can do
Maybe.
that.
Yeah, I like to imagine that you're not just spinning it around, you're like juggling it.
Oh yeah,
Very ostentatious. Like,
yeah. So that is with Hustle.
Unless you're going to propose a deal, if that's what you're going for.
So I am not looking to force you to do anything. I'm looking for you to come up with evidence to make sure that the murderer Saral Muva gets her uppance.
I
But
will put forward the idea that perhaps if you gave your holdout blaster that you used there, that it will provide enough forensic evidence to say that you weren't the one who killed Krixhera. Because they can match like the blaster stuff, you know. And I know that there's like a loose thread that can be driven straight through that, right? But like I'm just going with TV logic rather than like airtight cases.
I think if I remember part of that scene right, you didn't have a great weapon, and you shot and killed the Trandoshan, and then got a weapon from them as well as your little one. No?
No, just left
No,
it.
I just ran out of there.
You're
after that.
confused by my lies here, Tuck
Yes.
Tuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway,
I was the one with the big weapon. I just
Okay.
Yeah, but
tried to spin the story every time I've told it to make it seem like
Oh.
Skara,
Yeah,
Skara
but
gives
weren't there-
out a biometrics or some Star Warsy stuff, right? That like will
Yeah.
conclusively prove that it wasn't that Tabana gas that was used. There's no discharge of that left upon your things, right? But it'll involve taking like a full forensic scan of Skara and her weapons or something. Like,
Yeah, and I think didn't we establish that there were cameras and stuff there?
only in not particularly, I don't think. Star
Or they
Wars
might have
is
been
not a world
taken
of
out.
CCTV.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Other than where it's cinematically appropriate, of course.
Yeah. I think if we're going with that, then Skara, she pulls out her holdout blaster and just tosses it to Tuck Tuck, like at him, so he has to like catch it. And this is what I had. If this isn't what killed Crix, then I didn't do it. I know that's just it's
Yeah.
I think Tuck Tuck is going to have a recording of all of this. So I think that he needs to show that you handed it over and show the lineage of evidence, and says, I think I have your recording and all of that kind of stuff. And then I think I'll basically pull out my communicator and call off the backup that I have outside, the cops that I have outside the building, and say, we've got the evidence we need, and we don't need and the prisoner is not fleeing, and I think I need to take you in for you to provide testimony.
Yes, you need to come to the station. We need to get this on thingy.
Oh man, wouldn't it be terrible if Skara and Baku somehow ended up in the same holding cell through some sort of mix up?
Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? Let's see what Skara if Skara is even willing to go along. I think that could be a pressure someone Tuck, frankly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And pressure someone is Hustle, and I'm bad at that. So let me roll. And I rolled a 3. -1 is a 2. So it's just a minus. So a miss. I don't know what you want to do, Skara. One option would be. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think because you have some kind of recorder, I think Skara takes that and turns it off, and says, "We both know that if you bring me in, I'm never coming out again. And if you want to continue to work both sides, you need to keep me alive."
Maybe you want to get revenge for your partner? Well, why don't you just do what she did? You know, here, you give him the hold out blaster.
Etoma's still here, so
Yeah.
that's also a bit risky.
I
Unless
mean,
Etoma's left.
no, I don't think Edema left. Maybe Edema's like slipped into the bathroom, has been listening in on this and trying to figure out which way to take it.
Yeah. And I think Tuk Tuk definitely takes a blaster and is like, you know, I've got all the evidence I need. I've got a recording. We know we have a lineage of what's going on, and I think we might have the proof now. I'll consider your proposal about revenge. It makes sense. The question is, I think I'm willing to let you out. How do you get past here? How do you get out? I mean, you shoot me, you're still on the hook for being a cop killer. You step out and try and get away, the cops outside are going to shoot you. How do we make this believable?
Maybe there's a secret exit.
Now might be a good time for Etema to come in and tell us about a way to bug out.
Yeah, I think that's what Edema steps out of the bathroom.
I think Tuk Tuk,
Are we
who
moving
had been
towards a
juggling
flee
his
from
little gun.
authorities?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just wondering, are we moving towards a flee from security?
Ooh,
Move here?
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that was a move.
Scar also has a escape move as a playbook
Yeah.
move.
Oh yes, of
I
course.
have
And so does the rat actually.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. Don't worry about me. I can get out of here. And
Well, let's just take a step back and look at the fictional positioning here, right? It's that Tuk Tuk
Yeah.
had backup, right? And that Tuk Tuk has tried to press you, but you've refused it. But Tuk Tuk, whether or not this is still a, you know, we need something for the police or whatever, right? We're bringing you in is entirely up to you, right? Which is then going to necessitate a flee from authorities, or you can just walk out and say, the job's over, guys. Like,
Yeah.
go home.
I have no problem getting out. I think Tuk Tuk has everything he needs fictionally. However, the only concern there is if he steps out after dealing with a known criminal, someone who's wanted, and doesn't take him down to the station, that's where my concern comes from. So I think
Oh, well,
all
that
Tuk
depends
Tuk.
on whether or not you said that you were coming to take down the notorious, you know, CS cop killer Skara, or you just said, I'm going to go meet a CI and I need a squad car in backup. You know, like how much you played that to your chest.
Oh, that's true. I would not have brought the army down because I wanted to talk to Skara to get proof.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I originally thought you were completely bluffing.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So there's a squad car and Tuk Tuk's going to get back in and just be like, well, it was a bust, guys. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. Which then I think, you know, is when they ask you, wait, there was no one there? And it's Denny, I think, the droid who escaped the shootout at the safe house. And he's like, there was no one there? I thought, we got to be careful. There's that cop killer out there, that mad woman, Skara. She's gunning for us all, you know?
True.
Who are you meeting? Come on, like, we got to be open with this. We got to be honest, right?
Absolutely. The issue, I was here trying to get down to who the cop killers were, and I think I have the information I need. However, the cop killers weren't here. Oh, wait, let me make sure I'm saying that right. Tamari, you're not a cop killer, right? You didn't kill anyone, a cop in that
Nope.
last scene.
Nope.
And Skara, did you kill a cop in the last scene?
Oh, Skara has killed cops, just not the
Plenty of
one
cops.
cop everyone's most concerned with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you kill those two cops that with the grenade launcher and all of that? No, that was you, wasn't it,
no,
Skara?
but at the
Those weren't
safe house.
cops.
Those weren't cops. Those were cartel members.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so
2 safe houses, 2 missions.
Yeah.
Lots of corpses.
Yeah.
One group of the
Yeah.
law taking on the criminals, and one group of the criminals taking on the law, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Plus the
basically,
promotion.
I think what I said was correct. It was like, no,
Well,
you
let's
didn't
see you
kill.
justify your behavior, I think.
Yeah.
Tuk-Tuk.
Um,
And I'm not sure about the survival of the rat special. You can mark stress to take a 10+ on interfere,
oh
and
yeah.
offer a PC in XP to accept reasoning when you justify
Yeah.
your behavior. I'm wondering why it's just a PC and not an NPC as well.
Because it's
Because it would be
offering
XP. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So
Yeah.
justify your behavior is face. I have a 2 face, and I rolled a 9.
You are two-faced. Tuck.
I am 2-faced. I rolled a 9, so that's an 11.
That's 11. Okay.
NPCs, they accept your logic. Yeah.
Okay.
I think in order to get them to in order to get Denny to actually accept the logic, I flash the gun, and I say, I've got all
Yes.
the proof I need.
Nice. Yeah, we've got to wrap this up entirely. Don't worry, we've got her. And who are you referring to when you say her? He doesn't know, right?
Right.
I like
Right.
it. Yeah, cool. Okay, I think that's fine. Yeah. All right. Well, we're coming up to the last half hour, guys. We've got Saramuvar, who has Baku in a back pocket to come and basically like drop a dime on Tren and Skara. We've got Tuk-Tuk with the evidence of the thing. We've got Skara and Tren trying to get off world by their own route, and Etma delivering Ebla as well. But what's the play here? I think I think we'll ask Muvar first, being both the target and an agent.
Here's the thing. I'm so stressed out. I have to do something to clear some of this stress.
Let's have a quick. What is Saramuvar doing when she should be trying to get on top of this situation?
I think she's got to take another little hit of the spice that she acquired, because
nice. Yes.
It helped so much last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
so
I think you're doing all of what's left now, so there's no non-fallacious ascendancy to go.
Man, but sometimes you need something to take the edge off. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and roll for some spice here. That's a 14, baby.
Wow. Okay. Well, you clear your stress track, and it is like
I'm on top of the world.
Yes, it puts a pop in your step. And you shrug as you see that the vial runs out empty after a few top-ups. You're like, well, let Chen Vizik. He can probably make more.
He can probably make more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was helping out Univarn when he was working on this. I could probably reconstruct it from memory now that we've got Vizik.
And Vizik's an even better cook, right? So
yeah.
Great.
Absolutely.
You're on top of the world. Yeah. And where are you going with this Vin and Vigor?
I think it's to Rex to tell him that I've got Baku dead to rights, and we're ready to make him squeal on the cartel.
Okay. And it says, well, promising. Baku, you say? He's a long-time lieutenant. All our intel suggested he's very loyal to the cartel.
He's agreed to come in, point fingers at some folks he's got grudges against. I think we can apply a little pressure and get him to spill the whole story.
Well,
we had that one witness placing him at the fracas at the motel. Maybe we can get to the bottom of everything here.
Well, it would be good to have some arrests after all of this nonsense. Carry on, Muvar. Keep me posted.
Couldn't agree more, Prefect.
Make sure you're armed. We've lost too many officers.
Absolutely. Well, I've got Tuk-Tuk watching my back.
Okay. And what's next then? Because I don't think he even needs convincing. You're handing him something useful.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess what's next is locking Baku up when he turns up thinking he's just gonna testify against some people and be like, no, we need everything.
Cool. Then let's cut to that. Yeah, Rex says that, and we cut to like the station house,
Yeah,
and it's like a nondescript one, like some subsector station. No, you know what? It's the big one actually. It's the
Yeah.
huge one, and Baku rolls in like collar popped, like big smile on his face, and he's like, oh, I'm here to see the boss. Like, oh, no time for you little people. Ah, there she is. And there's a little guy, right? Yeah.
Tuk Tuk, you're here for this too.
Yeah. And in fact, he's even like just sat in the interrogation room, feet up on the table, looking very cocky about everything. Feet, including his, very nice and shiny, absolutely lifelike prosthetic limb that he got from his big winning at the pod race tracks when Scoura lost hers.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, hey, Tuk Tuk, when did the drinks get here? This is a bit small for us, the back table.
And I think that Tuk Tuk kind of nods. Can we have a guard in the room? I think we have a guard in the room.
No, I don't think he'd be happy with a guard
No?
in the room. No.
Okay. Well, I think Tuk Tuk basically just tells him.
If you want a guard in the room, it can change the dynamic of this. Like, he can be very cocky, and then who's that?
No, my thought was Tuk Tuk wanted to slap the guy down, and I visually couldn't see this happening with Tuk Tuk's stature. But I think that in this case, I think he verbally shuts him down and was like, you shut up. We'll talk. You'll talk whenever we tell you to talk.
You were dumb enough to walk in here. Like,
yeah.
Go for it. Verbally abuse.
Oh,
verbally abuse.
I wasn't actually looking to do that. I was just looking to mouth off.
No, because he's not someone you care about, is he?
Yeah.
No, he's not someone you care about.
He's a gambling buddy. Do you care about him?
No, I don't care about this guy.
Yeah, as you say that, I hit the button on the wall, right, and like the lights just like change to interrogation mode, and like the door like audibly locks, right?
Wait, what's this Griffin Poodoo? Tuk Tuk, you, and yeah, he's gonna spill some stuff about you if you don't pressure him, I think. Now would be a chance to do the whole scare him, and you know what? That's when the guards walk in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think that Tuk Tuk looks at him and he starts to say, Tuk Tuk, I know about you. And Tuk Tuk says, you don't know anything about me. I was just taking you at the sabacc table for everything that you had. I mean, look around here. If you talk here, who's in control? I'm in control. We're in control. And that's the threat, is if he talks about Tuk Tuk, then maybe he doesn't make it out.
Yeah. You answer the questions we ask. You tell us what we ask you. You don't tell us anything, we're on the same page here.
Yeah. And is that pressure someone or propose a deal?
I think that's pressure someone.
I think that's pressure someone. And that is with hustle, which again is a -1. I rolled a 4. Yeah.
He spits at you. Mark a stress.
Yeah.
As he just sits back and laughs and says, playing a dangerous game, little man. You think you'll be welcome back down there when this comes out? You think I'm scared of these little man? Be more scared of the Tenwa clan than these fools. Do your worst, coppers. Come on.
And I think that's when Tuk Tuk gets up and, he gets up, climbs up one of the guards, and then punches the dude, right? Not trying to intend any harm, but like just enough so narratively we see like there's a little dribble like where he's taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that barring this is going to be a relatively fruitless interrogation. Baku's going to take, he's going to basically like go down at this point. Like he's not going to spill the beans on whatever it is that you want him to spill the beans on, because you've double crossed him, right? But you have got opportunity to do something here as well, Mover.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So many schemes have piled up.
I
I'm
know,
like,
I know. This
what
is
do I even
ridiculous.
need out of this guy now?
Uh,
He was a tempting target, but there's just yeah. I'm
do
thinking
you
it over
actually
a
want him
little.
to pin it on Tren and Skara? Because that covers you, basically. You get that Baku, you know, that Tren and Skara like pulled off both of these, like responsible for all of this violence, like all across it all, basically.
Yeah, you know, everyone's eager to blame Scara for things. If I can get, you know, further testimony of that, that covers my hide. So
Because that's what
absolutely.
Baku's wanting to do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and that's what he's reminding you. You know, he's like, "Come on, we were here to talk about those two cop killers. Remember? They killed your little friends. They shot that one. I hope she makes it." Like, and you know that is the one that Skara did shoot. So yeah, are you going to pressure him, propose a deal?
Yeah. Here's the deal, Baku. We need names, we need witnesses, and we need enough that it won't look like you're just here to settle old scores. You've got to give us something that'll hurt. But then we can let bygones be bygones. Bring her in Tren and Skara. You know, you can go back to being a well, whatever it is you want to be.
Okay, so the deal is, I think this is still a pressure someone, frankly.
Yeah, it's a pressure someone.
Yeah.
All I have to offer is, you know, not bringing you know, the full force of the law down on him. So I'll roll a tussle. That's an 8.
An 8. Okay. At a 7 to 9, that's something important. Slip as you bring your pressure to bear. Now, I just want to know what it is that you let slip to Tuk Tuk that confirms the suspicions somehow.
Perfect. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And that doesn't have to be within this room. It could be like on the walk back to the speeder or whatever, right? Like.
Yeah. I think it's like as I'm pressuring Baku, I'm talking about how we need you know, him or his buddies to, you know, be witnesses and place Skara at the scenes of these crimes, you know, and in particular someone needs to confess to, you know, to like helping Skara get this grenade launcher. Right, and that's and Tuk Tuk had seen that I'm the one who purchased the grenade launcher. Does that work as a let something slip? Just that like it's now like abundantly clear that Soral is like pinning all of her own crimes on Skara.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Okay, cool. And he'll go along with that. So you now have like full evidence to deflect all of your heat onto Skara and Tren effectively.
Perfect.
Baku's, you know, he's didn't see anything, and he goes out and he just looks at Tuk Tuk like, "See you at the sabak table. Don't worry, everyone will know who you really are now." And yeah, he goes off. So I think we're coming up to the end scenes, right, of the whole thing, and I think that's going to be a case of I want to know, like, the hard frame of Tuk Tuk, you know, how he's going to address the Muvar problem. I think Muvar has just outmaneuvered you in terms of like evidence and forensics and stuff, particularly. You know, it's going to be, this might get what she might get away with it. Baku's going to complicate all of this case that you've built so far. You couldn't get Skara into actually, you know, that would have been the ace in your hole, but
right.
Muvar has outmaneuvered you there.
So I think I have a recording of Scarra, and I think I have evidence, and I
Uh-huh.
think I've turned that over to Rex before we had this investigation with
Mhm.
Baku,
Yeah.
in order to be processed, and we'll see what happens with
Well,
Rex dealing with
I
that.
think that what comes back with Rex dealing with that is that after Baku's given his evidence and everything, he just, he tells you that this is the stronger case. Like, Mivaz built the stronger case. Tuk Tuk. There's nothing I can do about it. My hands are tied.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I just wanted to. We can come to that. I think perhaps Etma leaving, saying goodbye to Ebla seems like a scene that doesn't really interact with any of the other things, because that's a separate route than the stuff, right? So we come to a Beshtek landing pad, where there is this cargo tug and a worker there, and there's a Chiss pilot as well. I can't remember the name of the Moonpunk Chiss that worked for Beshtek on Woth. But he's the pilot of this tug going out, and he's taken some credits under the counter and things like that. And it's a good arrangement. And, this is his own private, like room. Some people want to get off Coruscant without anyone asking. Sometimes you can bring like useful stuff. So it's fine. Garrick's a high player. Like, he's some sort of socialite. Maybe he just wants to hide from the paparazzi. And he's bringing a friend. Ooh. So yeah, Ebla's with you, Etma, on this landing pad. The wind, and it's all very Casablanca-y, right? She turns and she goes like, "Thank you for saving me. They were going to feed me to those things."
Yeah, they were. I need you to never come back.
But Churn, you'll promise me. And she like holds you like, if you can, you'll help him.
Yeah, I'll help him. But the best way for him to be helped is for you to be out of danger.
She'll squeeze your hand and say, "Okay. May the Force be with you."
With you too. And I think Edma's gonna reach up and like touch. Didn't she have? Was it a pendant or was it a ring? What was the rebel?
She had a pin that she can have back now. We don't have to go over the fact that Paid and
maybe
Fen
I
had
give
it in
her the
one
pin
scene.
back. Like,
Yeah, well, Paid and Fen had it in the previous scene because Muvar gave it to.
Maybe there's like a cut scene that ended up on the floor when
Edma
says, "Listen, I got Ebla. She's getting out," and then he hands over the pin. And
we don't have to. Yeah, completely.
She takes the pin and she puts it on, and then she pulls her collar to where it hides the pin.
Nice. And I think that's I almost wish I could just give you a stress back for that, right? For fulfilling a thing. Let's have a quick look at your objectives.
I don't know. My objectives are seize a drug lord account, neutralize an imperial ally asset of the cartel, disrupt a political event, recruit a new informant,
intelligent asset. No, I don't think we've framed Ebla in enough of a way as a thing, frankly, sadly. Yeah. If you'd put Churn on there. If you'd taken Churn, he would have been a good asset. Because he could have told the New Republic all about the cartel's operations.
He could have, but I really want him to die.
Yes, well, he's going to live the Jesse Pinkman experience, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
he's locked up in cartel custody here.
Yeah, I couldn't resist the idea of the cook ending up like chained to the meth lab thing. Anyways, so he's Toro waves from the thing. Garrick comes over and grabs Ebla's hand and then nods to you, and then the music swells as the ship they get into the hatch and it takes off and it just leaves. And I think that it's as the ship takes off, the camera just shows it getting darker and darker and darker around Etma as she descends back as they rise up away from Coruscant. and she's still in the darkness of 1313.
Maybe this is the point where we we notice the right eye has been replaced and there's the red.
Yes. Yeah, entirely. Yeah, I like that. So I think let's see Trend and Skara, your route off world, right? Because that could be, if depending on how that roll goes, it could end up in a sticky situation that might be a tense situation for other characters to get involved in as well. So there is a move. So there is, who do we have? We have I need to just think about, the moves here. The Spaceport Sheev, Has Watfo. You know that there's a route off planet. He's a sleazy guy. Offer him enough creds, he'll do it. I think with the creds that you've got, and you're sticking everything on the table, that's enough to not have to strain your finances, right? Because this is a make or break kind of thing. You're not planning on having anything. You don't need, all of this is being left behind, right? So now we're just on the, when you try to smuggle something, roll plus heat. And he's like, oh, this is gonna be a big avada with the cartels. The boss is me so worried. You saw clear this? I mean, that could just be when you go, yeah, I cleared this. And you push across the creds across the table, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, why so didn't you used to say so? Of course. Enjoy.
Just roll with heat. That's it's going to go so badly. But yeah. Yeah, and I think,
is your heat 3 now, Skara?
Yeah, it's from the hitting the safe house,
killing all of my partners and friends.
Yeah,
and if you hadn't just got all of that and more just confirmed by Baku, essentially, then it might have gone down. But instead, you just stitched her up even more.
Turns out that shooting people gives you bad attention. It's weird.
So roll plus heat.
Yeah. Is this 6? Is that
what?
Good?
Oh my god. That's
roll a 2 and a 1.
Yeah.
That's
the connection comes through.
Wow.
Wow.
They're out of there.
God.
Yeah.
I was all set to just maybe like pushing Tren on there and just
I thought that was going to end with a CSF shows up.
Yeah.
Like as you're getting on the ship and you shoot, you hold them off while they leave.
Yeah.
Instead, of course, CSF comes racing in just as afterwards, right? What are you doing here, sir? We got some no problems here. Like, no problems. Hey, we pay you. And yeah, Muvar, you just see, let the twin lights of the ship going off, and Skara and Tren, like, and I mean, like,
and I'll
Tren,
turn to Tuk Tuk and be like, they got away. There's no justice for Cricks after all.
Ooh. And
I think Tuk Tuk like is holding like a pad, and where you say that, he like crushes it or smashes it on the ground and like,
yeah, slams it against a and then like something that your translated unit doesn't go through, right? Like alien swears. I mean, Skara and Tren are away. I feel like Etima's kind of had like a. Is that okay as a final? I think the final scene I want to see here is like, where do we leave things between Tuk Tuk and Muvar? Like, what is, and this is an open frame, I think.
do you have an idea, Alexi?
I'm all ears for you, right? Because like Muva feels like she's pulled ahead, and I'm very interested in what Tuk Tuk's response to it all is.
So the image that I had in mind was sort of an epilogue. And I'll discuss what I had in mind, and then we can see if we can either frame it into a scene or we're happy where it is.
Okay.
And this would be credits roll. We have the happy scene where Etema puts Elba on the ship, and then Skara and Hearn get off, in their ship. And I think the credits roll, and then we see, Tuk Tuk and Saral, like, I think they're in a seedy bar, right? And they're sitting down and they're having drinks together.
Yeah.
And it's hazy in here from all the smoke and all of that. And then, I think there's some conversation that's happening, and we don't quite hear what that is. And then all of a sudden, both of them pull their blasters, and it goes black, and we hear shots, but we don't know what really happened.
Amazing.
I like that. Yeah.
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 And
Let's leave
that
it
way,
at that.
yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. And that
Yeah.
way, if somebody wants to bring Saral back or Tuk Tuk back, it's possible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that because I was eager to see who gets Karkin shot, right, and what the results of that role would have been. But I like the idea that it's open and we'll just see who comes back for another game of Hutt Cartel or something in the future.
It's
Lovely.
also a callback to Greedo, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly. I was exactly thinking that it's like who shot first.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, totally.
Cool.
And
Well,
kind of The Sopranos as well, I guess. The
yes,
finale.
yeah, the Fate of Black. Yeah, that's the music that's playing on the jukebox as it goes on. Cool. Well, I think we'll come to some epilogues. That was Tuk Tuk's. I mean, let's hear about Skara and Trends. What do we have an epilogue for that? Or are you happy with just heading off to a new life elsewhere?
I think we just see them when the ship lands. They walk out onto the landing pad, and it's bright and sunny. We don't see what they're seeing, we're just seeing them. But they're holding hands and they're looking to the future.
I like it. It's the camera behind us, like they look up onto the horizon and there's a moon and then an asteroid field like above this place and loads of spaceships going everywhere all across. It's all the possibilities. You can see the stars for the first time, right? Yeah. And then move. I want to come to Atma last, I think, for an epilogue, frankly.
Yeah, I have this idea for an epilogue that's it's ambiguous where it fits in relationship with that shootout, right? Like, is this something Saral was working on before that? Did she survive and do this afterward? But I think what we see is in the depths of the Sarlacc's belly, right? Chern Vizek is cooking for the cartel now, and he gets a visitor, and Saral says, "Crummy digs down here. Listen, I know you miss your lovely wife. I managed to slip a bug on her before she went off world. If you want the chance to listen in, I'm going to need you to cook a little bit for me on the side. Do you remember?
Ooh.
Did you hear about that bad batch that a Univarn put together?"
Nice. I like that. I think very much. And you hand over, it said to Jarek, you hand over to Jarek piece to him or something, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think even the promise there is that, the only way you'll ever find your wife again is through my people.
Absolutely.
Just all you have to do is do this favor for us. No one needs to know. I love it. Yeah. Sweet. And then finally, Etema.
Yeah, we have a very, very dark shot. It's obviously in the below, and we see a couple of like a quick intro of some of the exiled there, looking through the cases of weapons that have been shipped their way and checking them out, talking between each other about, well, what do we do next? What do we do next? And then you hear Etema's voice. tell you what to do next. You follow me. You get to kill a bunch of Stormies. We're going to move up in the world.
Nice. I like
Just
it.
that little, like, the red eye from the cyber eye is seen a little bit more clearly. And Edema's done being a spy. She's just going to be basically a carking terrorist.
Yeah, Edema's turned into freaking Saw Gerrera.
Yup.
Nice. Oh man, I think I even know. I think in the X-Wing Isard's Revenge, maybe there's like a group of who like sort of roughly base the Exiled on, and it occurs to me that Edema would make the perfect like leader for that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk a little bit more about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for playing, guys.
Actually,
oh.
I have a. Can I narrate like a little stinger?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that we see the ship with Toro land, right? This is the ship that Elba was on.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah,
And yeah. And I think we see her and the what's the name of the rebel guy? Was it
Garrick?
Garrick.
Yeah.
And I think the two of them kind of walk down the plank, and Elba walks off, and Garrick is standing there, and there was an empty seat on that shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we see a second person step off the shuttle, and it's Inez. And Inez walks up and hands a suitcase to Garrick, and Garrick says, "Thanks. The rebellion will do well with this money."
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So Nez is not the owner of 8 Lives. She got out while the going was good. Nice.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was a great stinger of a thing. It's changed my perspective on what 1313 looks like going forward slightly. Like, well, in a big way as well, you know. And so that's the end, guys. If you want to do your XPs and keys and stuff, I recommend you do, because you could always bring these characters back, right? Although I think that Scar has gone off to at least be in a different game entirely.
I think Edimus is not a Hutt Cartel character.
Edimus is going to run a comrades cell, right?
Oh no, I think Edema could still work as a thing, because if you look at like the narco wars, when they bring in the guerrilla fighters, they basically like, you know, what's the best way to strike back at the government is to seize all of the control and the money and the assets that the cartel has and just take it, right? You're done working with them, now you're going to take them over. And yeah, so it could work. I'm just saying. But yeah, so just to conclude, my rough idea, if I was to come back, is that I think I'd really like to see more of like the cartel stuff that's out, that they bring out. And Mark Diaz said that it would be some point this year. They would have like new playbooks and stuff, because I feel we've rotated through playbooks and things, and they're interesting to play. But I'd like to, if I was to continue with the rough continuity, I think I'd like to have like different elements than what we've had. Does that make sense? But would people be interested if I proposed that? And then yeah, okay, cool. Well, thanks very much, guys. Let's say goodbye to the internet, and if you've got time to do some stars, thorns, etc.
Goodbye, internet.
Bye, internet.